My arm was being vaporized as I was allegedly pointing my weapon at the defendant.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I wanted to check in on yet another lawsuit with, the man that seems to be forgotten a little bit. The world rallied. Well, the ones who weren't insane around Kyle Rittenhouse, our world. The center right, non-lunatics, and now he's being completely buried under absurd lawsuits. This posted by Sarah Gonzalez. Kyle's being sued again, this time by the guy who actually pointed at him, um, and who actually tried to end him. I mean, sometimes like the United States legal system, like I know I have a lot of lawyer friends in the space, but like, man alive, like this is getting insane. And it's this is why I wanted him to push these defamation cases sooner than later, because he's going to need the money, because these losers are going to take every penny he's got. And how much money could he even have? These lawsuits are not designed to actually get money. They're designed to destroy his life, to ruin his life, to make him regret the the horrendous act of not letting someone else end it. That, like, make no mistake about it. That's what this is about. And it feels like, now it feels like, maybe this isn't true, but it feels like, people are happy to bring Kyle onto their shows to get, hopefully he's getting paid for all these appearances that he's doing. I've said that to him privately. He texted me the other day about this lawsuit, so I wanted to cover it. But like, there's a lot of big organizations that are happy to put Kyle on stage. I don't know that they're not. I'm just saying, I hope that they are helping him out with legal fees one way or another, or with counsel or support or connections or something. Because at the end of the day, he's just a kid. He's still just a kid who had basically his teen years taken away from him. And these are big, huge mega corporations that seem to be funding these lawsuits to destroy his life. He wrote here, this lawsuit is an attempt to drown out anyone who legally and justifiably defends their lives from attackers in a mountain of legal debt. He's absolutely right about that. We cannot let them win. If they come after me, they will come after you. This is why do you think that this have you noticed that there's a lot of like the pew pew tubers and other people are doing a lot of these uh insurance for self-defense? It's a huge booming business. In fact, in my hometown, there's like a huge something defense. I don't know what it is, but it's this huge building. And someone was like, "Oh, he or she works for this company." I was like, "Oh, that huge new building." Yeah, I'm like, "What do they do? Sell insurance for this?" And they're like, "Yup." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it's a huge booming industry, and a lot of it, I think, is pushed by this. So this lawsuit now, again, is from the man that tried to end his life. Kyle Rittenhouse has vowed to, quote, prove my innocence again after the man he defended himself against in 2020 now is suing him for emotional distress and humiliation. And by the way, this is a guy that took a weapon, pointed it at Kyle, and tried to end his life. Okay. Now everyone's making fun of him getting his bicep completely blown off, but like, he's lucky it wasn't his head. Gage Kreutz, who testified that who admitted, by the way, this is why this lawsuit is unwinnable. But the point of it is not to win, it's to destroy Kyle, right? So he admitted on the stand, I remember that moment on the stand, that he pointed his weapon at Kyle, is now suing him for loss of enjoyment of life, humiliation, and other pain. So essentially, he's suing because he's getting dunked on the internet. God, I would love to be able to do that. Matt Walsh, I'm suing you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Relax. It claims that law enforcement defendants deputized these individuals, conspired with them, and ratified their actions by letting them patrol the streets armed with weapons to mete out justice as they saw fit. Obviously, they cannot prove this. Again, this is a suit that has no merit in court and they will not win, but they don't care. Rittenhouse is now a popular content creator. I won't say that. I don't think he started a YouTube channel, but I don't know if he's actually publishing any of it. And right-wing influencer. Again, I don't know about that. He speaks at events. Told Fox News Digital, and those aren't slights at Kyle. I'm just saying I think that he's just a kid who has like no money and is getting sued into oblivion by these leftists that tried to end his life. And I'm sure someone's paying for Gage's lawsuit too, by the way. He is now, I guess it came as a shock to why he's filing the lawsuit, because he admitted that he pointed it in my face and that he chased me down. He said that it would again come with a hefty price tag, but said that he was ready to prove his innocence yet again. This comes only weeks after the father of Anthony Huber, who also effed around and found out, brought a wrongful deletion lawsuit against Kyle for also alleging he conspired with police to target protesters, which of course he did not do. Everyone knows this. Kyle was found guilty on all counts. Think about this. This kid, I would prefer he had stayed home just because of all that's happened. But in the eyes of the law, and now been confirmed by the courts, he legally defended himself. And now these people are still ruining his life. He spent the last 3 years suffering for defending himself legally. Seems like there's something wrong there, right? It seems like something is very wrong. And I think we all know what happened with, during the trial where Gage testified in the trial that he was pointing his own weapon at Kyle before Kyle unbicepped him. He said that he didn't intend to fire, but as he had his hands raised, holding him towards him. What? He didn't intend to fire. You pointed at me. That is the intention to fire. When you point a barrel at somebody, you are intending to fire. That is what you are communicating. Okay, you didn't hold it down at your side. You pointed it in his face. What did you think was going to happen? Since being found innocent of all 5 felony charges, since then, victims and their families have brought forward separate lawsuits against him. The suit levied by John Huber, father of protester. Oh my God, he wasn't a protester. He's a piece of garbage. I think he was also, which one was he again? The one that liked entering little boys against their will. Was he that guy? Was that JoJo? Or was that the other guy? None of these people were good people. All right. It also claims that officers violated Huber's constitutional rights when they allowed the riots to erupt into violence. Are you kidding me? This is the most insane crap I've ever read in my life. Of course, President Biden, called him terrible things. Some outraged celebrities went online to complain about the decision, with performer Bette Who Gives a Crap Midler saying it was a tragic day. Yeah, I'm sure that Bette Midler and her numerous private security agents, I'm sure if somebody was pointing a weapon in her face, she would just say, no, 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 no. Let him. BLM, LGBT, shoot me. Like, is that what Bette Midler would have said? I mean, again, so all of these, it's one of the wildest takes I've seen that transcends knowledge and is like the best example of tribalism. Like these tweets where it's like, we saw him end 2 people. You mean defend himself? All of these people expected, clearly by their responses, that Kyle just die. That's what they think. That they think that Kyle should have just let them end his life. They would have celebrated it too, by the way. And you look at a lot of these replies. There's one of these like popular reply guys to like, here Grosskreutz testified that he pointed at Kyle before then teenager, protected himself, is seeking economic losses, damage for emotional distress. I mean, it's they don't have a case whatsoever. However, they are aiming to destroy his life. You have this loser, like who's a weird, cringy reply guy, begging people to foot the bill for your own legal mess after you kill people. How entitled are you? Like, are you an absolute idiot? How does this person have 600,000 followers? The idea that, yeah, people should help him with his give, send, go because what's happening is the machine is funding these other lawsuits. I would suspect. Don't you? I mean, I don't you think unless all these lawyers are taking it pro bono, perhaps these lawyers are taking it pro bono, or they're also activists and they're trying to, get famous and they're doing the case for free. That could be part of it, but Kyle still has to pay his law firm to defend himself against these things, and you can't just take it. You can't just go into any court case and be like, oh, I guess we'll just, they don't have a case, so whatever. No, he has to use his law firm and pay them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to defend him if this goes to trial. And then potentially you're still coming down to a jury who may not like you and may side with, the person suing you, even if it seems insane. It's tough. I think that Kyle was thrust into this. His pinned comment, by the way, his pinned tweet is his give send go. It says givesendgo.com/Kyle Rittenhouse. I think it's good to see people are donating. That's cool. I hope people will because I mean, he's. I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but he's raised $117,000, which is amazing. But like, these lawsuits are expensive. I talk about even, the lawsuit that I went through, which was a slam dunk victory, still cost me $50,000 or $60,000. And it's wild how that these spurious lawsuits just get filed because what they're mad. Like like this guy is literally suing because people are making fun of him on the internet. I don't know what other reason he could possibly be suing him. So, shout out to Kyle. I support you. I hope these organizations that are, bringing you in to speak and do all these other things, hopefully they back you as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.